so it's unpaid internships? All right, thank you. I continued to call a few more offices just to see what I would find, and was shocked to find that there were a number of unpaid internships. If you're a member office and you want to learn how to pay your intern without using your office's budget, aka the MRA, the Members Representational Allowance, or you're an office who wants to learn more about what options there are on how to pay your intern, keep watching this video. In this video, I'm going to cover the current state of paid internships on Capitol Hill, the House Paid Internship Program and the facts that you need to know about it, how to apply in a step-by-step process for the House Internship Program so that you can start to use those funds, and also cover different ways to structure intern pay, whether that's a stipend, hourly, or need-based. And lastly, we're going to hear from community leaders as to why it's important to pay your interns. Hey guys, Melissa Dargan here, and welcome back to my YouTube series on personal finance. Just like how paying your interns is a good way to pay it forward, go ahead and hit that like button and press subscribe so that you can be updated whenever new personal finance videos are released each week. Also, it's free to do, a win-win. Let's start off by talking about the current state of paid internships. In a recent survey done by the Modernization Staff Association, the Congressional Management Foundation, College to Congress, and PopVox, they found that nearly 33% of the offices that they surveyed are not paying their interns. I repeat, they found that nearly 33% of offices surveyed are not paying their interns. Let's just put ourselves in the intern's shoes for a moment. Does this sound familiar? Skipping meals and walking miles to work, unpaid house interns struggle to make ends meet. This CNN article talks about the struggles of unpaid interns. And it's real. Trust me, I know. I was one. A few years ago, Pay Our Interns did a study of which members of Congress paid their interns. I included the link to their report below. That report uncovered that a majority of the internships offered in both the Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives were unpaid. Good news is that since then, there have been huge wins for interns. In 2019, the House of Representatives passed a resolution that created the House Paid Internship Program. This program currently provides each member of Congress $25,000 a year to pay their interns. I encourage all members in the House of Representatives to use this opportunity, the House Paid Internship Program, to pay your interns. It's money specifically designated to pay interns, so use it. Use that money. Pay your interns. And if there's an updated report on which members of Congress pay their interns, I'll be sure to include the link and share it with you. Now that you know of the House Paid Internship Program, here are the must-know facts that you need to know. What's awesome is that the Modernization Staff Association, Tour Tracker, and PopVox Legidash collaborated to create a one-pager on all the things that you need to know about the House Paid Internship Program. I've included the link below in the description. Check it out. How much does each House office get? Each House office gets $25,000 a year to pay their interns. And this is money that can only be used to pay interns, so use it. It's like if someone were to write you a $25,000 check, would you use it? Of course you would. So make sure you take advantage of these funds that are provided to your office. And remember, it doesn't affect your office's budget, the MRA, so it's a win-win and you can pay your interns. Which interns can House offices pay with the House Paid Internship Program funds? Members can pay DC interns and district interns with these funds. And during the time of the pandemic and any other national emergency, the House has created a rule to enable offices to pay remote interns. Now you may be thinking, Melissa, this House Paid Internship Program sounds really good. Now, are there any requirements we need to consider? Short answer is yes. Interns that are paid with the House Paid Internship Program funds are subject to federal laws, the House rules and regulations, and they must take those required training courses. Basically, the same rules apply to interns who are paid with the MRA. It's important to remember that paid interns must complete the 3 mandatory trainings that staffers are required to do. That's workplace rights, security, and ethics. Additionally, interns paid through the House Paid Internship Program must be a part of an educational program and cannot be employed by the member for more than 120 calendar days. Now that the intern is being paid, they must also fill out onboarding forms. Intern coordinators, this is where you come in. You may want to think about setting up an onboarding session where you can help the interns walk through the packet and maybe answer any questions they may have when they're signing the forms. A popular question is, can interns use office equipment like a laptop? The good news, the answer is yes. Interns can be issued office equipment as long as they're being paid any amount from the House Paid Internship Program or the MRA. Listen up to this because it's not a widely known fact, and if your office pays your intern, you definitely want to know this benefit. Can interns receive transportation benefits like the Metro? The answer here is yes, 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 yes. Interns can be eligible for transportation benefits as long as they're paid at least $100 a month from either the House Paid Internship Program or the MRA. Quick side note, when the payroll authorization form says that interns are not eligible for benefits, it means benefits like healthcare. Now, time for the step-by-step instructions on how to qualify for the House Paid Internship Program. There are 4 steps, so pay attention and it's pretty easy. Step 1, you're going to need to gather these required documents from the interns. First, there's the House Employment Eligibility Verification documents. If the intern is a U.S. citizen, you can use a U.S. passport, which needs to be unexpired and a colored copy, or you can use a birth certificate with the official seal, or a photocopy of naturalization certificate of citizenship. If the intern is not a U.S. citizen, you're going to need to contact the General Counsel's office. The phone number is included in the one-pager, and make sure you check in what the required documentation is needed. There are also other documents that you need for e-verification and direct deposit, so make sure to check the list. Step number 2, you're going to need to fill out the following required documents. All the documents listed are in the new employee onboarding packet, except the payroll authorization form, which you can find on the House Administration Committee's website. Step number 3, have the employing office's payroll and benefits point of contact review the documents that you've put together before sending it to the Office of Payroll and Benefits. This person is typically the office manager or whoever handles office operations in your office. Step number 4, submit the completed appointment package into the Office of Payroll and Benefits. See? Those were all the 4 steps. You collect some paperwork and documents, you fill some of it out, you make sure you put it all together in the right fashion, and then you submit it. An important note is you need to make sure that you get this completed appointments package into the Office of Payroll and Benefits at least 2 days before the effective date when the intern is supposed to start. What's great is on the one-pager, which is linked below, you have this full checklist to go through. Now time to get to the good stuff, how to structure intern pay. Because let's face it, there's a number of different ways to pay your interns, and you want to consider all the following options to see what best works for you. Is it a stipend? Is it need-based? Is it hourly? We're going to go over these examples, and let's use the whiteboard to do so. There are many ways you can pay your interns, and each office is different. Here are a few ways of how you can structure intern pay. We'll start off with the stipend. And let's just take, for example, there are 3 terms or semesters, spring, summer, fall, and you want to pay a stipend to each intern for $1,000. That means when you consider how much money you're going to be getting from the House Paid Internship Program, which is $25,000 a year, you have to keep in mind that you are going to be limited to how many interns you can take. In this case, it's about 8 interns per term, and if they're $1,000 per intern, there are 3 terms. That will cost your office about $24,000 a year, and you can probably hire an extra 1 intern in your highest season of work and make that $25,000. What makes the stipend appealing to many offices is how easy it is, right? If you set the amount that you're going to pay the intern, then you can calculate how many interns you can have per term per year. and then pay them out equally the same amount. The next option is hourly, and you definitely want to set a base rate of how much you want to be paying per hour. In this example, it's $12 an hour, and out of the $25,000 which you're going to use from the House Paid Internship Program, divide that by 12, that's about 2,083 hours for the year. And let's say you have about 10 interns per year. If you want to roughly calculate that each are going to work about 208 hours, about 5 weeks of work is how much you can pay them. So just keep that in mind that with hourly, while it seems straightforward, you're going to be paying them $12 an hour, you will have to keep track of how many hours you've used already throughout the year, because you don't want to pay and use up all of your funds for spring and summer and not have enough in the fall. The last example I'm going to go over is the need-based option. And I know that a number of offices are using a need-based option when they are paying their interns. And I'll walk you through what that means. So let's assume that, again, 3 semesters or 3 terms, spring, summer, and fall. And based on the $25,000 of the House Paid Internship Program, we divide it by 3. And so each term, the office plans to spend $8,300 on the interns that they have. And let's say each office wants to make sure everybody at least gets paid. Everybody has a base rate. And in this case, the base rate is $300 a month. Now, let's say for that one term, the office hires 3 interns. And 2 of the 3 interns are need-based. So how that would work out is that each intern will get $1,200, because let's say that's for 4 months of work. So each intern gets $1,200, and then the remaining amount, the $8,300, which comes per term, minus $3,600, which is 3 times $1,200, you'll be left with $4,700 to now divide amongst the 2 need-based interns. So that means the need-based interns will now split the remaining $4,700, and what that turns out to be is that each need-based intern will end up getting $3,550 each, and the one intern that was not a need-based gets the $1,200. And again, need-based, it does take into consideration students who may need more funding than others. Some offices use it on Capitol Hill. It's another way to just consider and think through how you want to structure your intern pay for your office. Everyone's different. A number of offices I know like the stipend. It's clean, it's easy, it's simple, and you can just equally calculate it for everyone. Others like to make sure that they're paying by the hour. The only thing with that is that you do have to make sure that you calculate the amount of hours that you do use and that you pay out, because you don't want to run out of money by the end of the year. And then lastly, there's need-based. And again, this is where some offices want to consider that some students may need more funds to come out to DC than others. And so they still set a base pay. Every intern gets paid, but after they meet the base pay, anything left above the base pay will then get split by the need-based interns. Last but not least, I do want to share this discussion I had with Audrey Henson about why paying interns matters. Audrey is the founder of College to Congress, a bipartisan nonprofit to provide high-achieving, low-income college students with the means and access to intern and work on Capitol Hill. Audrey, I'm glad you can join me today, and I did have a few questions for you. One is, what does paying interns mean to you?
You want to ensure that you have great applicants to pick from. How are you going to get the most competitive applicants if you're not paying? You're only going to get a pool of select people who can either take out student loans or have their parents pay. When it comes to policy in particular, it is so important for all of us to ensure that the people writing our laws reflect those who are having to live by those laws. So much of why I created College to Congress was because I didn't see myself reflected there. I didn't see my family's financial situation and different backgrounds reflected. I didn't see my neighbors actually getting any of their problems solved because people in Washington couldn't relate to how we were living. So if you really want to create better policy, if you want to create better teams, it starts with paying, and then it follows up with creating an inclusive environment.
And with all that you just shared, why is it important to pay interns?
I'll give you 3 reasons why it's important to pay your interns: accessibility, diversity, and quality of applications. When it comes to accessibility, so many employers in 2021 are committed to truly leveling the applicant pool. You're not going to be able to do that if you're not offering fair pay for fair work. By paying your interns, what you end up doing is leveling the playing field so that the best talent can compete for your position. Any hiring manager out there wants to build a strong team. They want to build a creative, solution-driven team. You're not going to be able to do that without diversity. And you're not going to have diversity on your team if you're not paying your interns and you're not creating pipelines of success for students from low-income, disadvantaged backgrounds. It's so important for all hiring managers to play a part in the skills gap issue we're seeing in America. Another great reason to pay your interns is to build a culture. You want your interns to feel like they're a part of the team. They're valued. The work they do matters. You want them to feel respected, and you want to create a sense of camaraderie. If you have a team of paid staff and a team of unpaid staff, you immediately are dividing who was on your team and creating a varsity and a JV situation. You don't want that. You want everybody wearing the same jersey, showing up at the same time, committed to accomplishing your mission.
Thank you, Audrey, for sharing your thoughts with us and for all the work that you're doing with College to Congress. I really wish College to Congress, at least for me, existed way back when I interned, because I had to take out loans and go into financial debt to work for free. So my hope is with College to Congress, with Pay Our Interns, and this video to help raise awareness that we are really going to get to 100% of the members of Congress paying their interns. Here's to hoping, and let's get to that 100%. Now, if you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. Thanks for the support. And if you know a member of Congress's office who still isn't paying their interns, share with them this video so that they can learn about the House Paid Internship Program, how easy it is for them to use and apply for, and hopefully we can get to 100% of the members paying their interns. Also, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to learn more on personal finance and be updated whenever new videos for the Congressional Video Series are released. See you in the next video! Wait, you're still here? Go ahead and check out these other personal finance or congressional videos that I think you'll enjoy. See you in the next video!